Reminder that the state wheel pit closes with 6 to go, gentlemen. Stringfellow, you don't need no pit. 6 to go is when we will close the state wheel pit, and it's back here to the west. So right down to the west of us here, Reconciliation Way. Down at the corner of Main Street and Reconciliation Way, you'll see the black state wheel tip. And that is our neutral service pit. So once again, an opportunity, mechanical, crash, whatever, get back there and they'll feather you back in. But that is only up to 6 laps to go. So once again, under 6 to go, see ya. Go see the Cabin Boys Brewery, who's our official beer of St. Francis Tulsa Tough. Shameless plug, tossing it on in there. So a couple minutes away. So a couple minutes away here as we're now, let's say 2 minutes. So just over 120 seconds. A reminder, if you think you're on the podium, don't go hang out in the car. Don't go get changed. Stay down here. You want to recognize the podium early on at the first couple laps of the following race. So if you're on the podium, don't go take a shower. Don't go check into the hotel. Don't go down and hang out at Sound Pony or anything like that. Make sure you hang out close so we can take care of everybody and recognize the podiums here at our Men's Cat 4. So 108 racers on the registration. Sure, all 108. Yeah, you're all out here. Largest field of the day here on day number 2 at the FC Tulsa Arts District, St. Francis Tulsa Tough, 17th year in existence, our 2023 edition. So looking at last year's podium, and we talked about a lot of times, you got a podium in the Cat 5 in 2022, probably not going to be on that same category as you're moving up. Right now, looking at last year's winner, Jake Boykin, our Cat 4 winner last year, not on the race list here. So possibly racing in Cat 3, or maybe just hanging out watching this online on the World Wide Web. The last year's podium, Boykin, Grant Rogers, Ryan Brantley. Who will be at the top step today when we get this finished up, as we are 30 seconds away from kicking off the next wave? The gladiators of the Men's Cat 4. No more bragging rights. You guys actually get paid. It's like you're semi-pro or something. 15 seconds. Beer money. We'll throw some preems at you guys as well, so keep your ears open for that as we're down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we are underway. Men's Cat 4, 108 warriors released on the streets of downtown Tulsa. We'll count the clock up before we count the laps down. The next wave of the day, Men's Cat 4. Opening lap here of our Men's Cat 4. Opening lap, opening lap, opening lap. So they've been navigating about 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes, some of the previous races. We'll see how far or how fast we are here on our opening lap of our men's Cat 4. 30 minutes of racing. So once again, right at 2 minutes as we roll them on through. Opening lap at 2 minutes on the opening lap. We talked about those winners last year. Jake Boykin not on the start list here. Grant Rogers, who was second. Don't see him. Yep, don't see him on our start list here today. And then Ryan Brantley, who was in third last year. So once again, as I said earlier, I thought it was the case, and it is the case. We'll have a brand new podium here in 2023 on our men's Cat 4. More than likely, the previous podium guys in Cat 4, they're probably racing Cat 3. Who knows? They may be in the men's Pro 1-2 race or P1 race later on here tonight. So once again, we talked about it's been a weather-shortened day. We still have the same number of races, same number of preems that are being handed on out, same number of volunteers working hard to bring you this event and keeping all these racers safe. So once again, when you are crossing the course, make sure you're only crossing in the crossing guard area and listen to your course marshals, as the course marshals are here first and foremost to protect the racers because they're working harder than you are. All righty, second lap done and dusted. It's a faster one this time around, a lot faster, about 10 seconds faster this time through. As that is, we feel the breeze as our 108 racers in this peloton that's starting to split a little bit there towards the front come hurtling down Reconciliation Way. They'll navigate their way to turn number 1 underneath the first Jumbotron. And like I said, that first lap was about 2 minutes. That last one was about 1:50 as we have racers down. Turn number 1 can be tricky and chaotic as you come hurtling down this straightaway. Tim Whiteside out there, one of the volunteers trying to help. Once again, we'd like to represent our podiums, so our women's 2-3 and the women's masters. If you're on those podiums, please head on down. So 30 minutes of racing. Once again, we took about 10 minutes talking with Tim Carrig, and we had to make up the 90-minute delay to start at 11 versus 9:30. We lost the kids' race, unfortunately. We'll have it tomorrow. And then we took about 10 minutes off most of the races. As you look, you'll have except the Women's Pro. The Women's Pro race will still be a full 60 minutes. The Men's Pro race will be 70 minutes, so it will lose 10 minutes. So other than the Women's Pro race, everything else had about 10 minutes cut off. Once again, same amount of races, trying to pack it all in. Talk about packing it all in. With these shorter races, it's more chaotic because you have the same amount of preem money, and we have 3 preems we're going to be handing out here in our Men's Cat 4. Or sorry, 2 preems, that is. $50 courtesy of Bicycles of Tulsa, and then a $75 cash preem as well. So another lap as they roll on through, and once again, they are picking up the pace. So let's say first lap 2 minutes, second lap was about 1:50. It's probably about 1:45, maybe somewhere in there. Math maybe a little off there, but definitely seems like it is faster there. And once again, they were trying to take care of a downed rider. That crash that happened on the previous lap in turn number 1, it's kind of dangerous there because once again, you have this, it's the longest straightaway of the race course coming down Reconciliation Way. So when you go west to east and you make that turn number 1, where that down rider is, it's kind of tough because it's a tight turn, and you have 108 riders, or racers that is. I'm a rider, they're racers. In this field, it can get a little tight going through there. We're going to hold off on the preem for a little bit. Once again, trying to get medical to take care of the situation and help out our rider that's down there in turn number 1. So once again, we talked about all the great sponsors that make all of this possible. We talked about Cabin Boys, the official sponsor of official beer sponsor. We talked about Aeon, who's the official Fondo sponsor. Also, Mineral Agua, sparkling mineral water, is official mineral water of Tulsa Tough. I'll tell you what, we're looking at the Jumbotron. You see some of our younger riders. That is a tall drink of water there. That gentleman is 6'8", and right now he is literally position number 1 on this course as he makes his way down the hill next to Tulsa, the Tulsa Theater. 6'16", I believe. So maybe Thomas Carroll. They're going to be 6'10". So that's Turner Becker. Yeah, 6'10". Number 6'10", height 6'8" is what I'd heard. So here they come here. 9 to go, 9 to go, 9 to go. And right now he is up at the front with 2 OK Flyers. So it's the Texas Giant, Turner Becker, with 2 OK Flyers.
Inside.
Once again, trying to make sure we are navigating turn number 1 to take care of the medical situation there for the rider that is down. So, looking back, the chase group, we're going to have some racers making their way on up. So, see some of the Logistics 918 racers up in there. That could be Alberto Figueroa. Not see the number, but he's up there in that purple and white kit. Need to check out the OK Flyers. Once again, see if they've been brought back in the fold. Doesn't look like it. They're still up there. So it's the two OK Flyers, and then the Texas Giant, Turner Becker. Once again, we'll try to get the numbers of our OK Flyers racers coming up in just a second. We'll wait for them to make the turn. Unable to see those numbers just yet. 6:31, so one of them will be, that's going to be Isaiah Colbreth, OK Flyers. Not see the second one, but right now we do know there's 2 Flyers to the local junior racers for the OK Flyers up there with Turner Becker from Texas. So 9 to go, so next time they come through will be 8 to go. We're holding off on the preems just right now. As once again, we're trying to take care of the medical situation there for the down rider in turn number 1. So we will have 2 preems. And once again, waiting for the situation to get cleared up there. Medical personnel down there in turn number 1. So 8 to go, 8 to go, 8 to go. Gonna have an attack there, 6:16. That is gonna be Thomas Carroll, Arkansas United Racing, as he makes his way up, trying to calm down the peloton as they're gonna make their way on turn number 1. Once again, the safety of the medical personnel and the down rider there. So this field of 108 got stretched out even before that crash. There's a long line, a thin line of racers here navigating the way on the backside of the Guthrie Green as we are under 8 laps to go here. So the men's Cat 4, we talked about Boykin, Rogers, Brantley last year's podium. They're gone. So who's going to be on the podium this year? It looks like we are all back together at the front. So the 2 OK Flyers, Colbreth, did not see his teammate. They've come back in, as has the 6'8" giant, Turner Becker from Texas. He'll slide back in about 7th wheel, but tell you what, you can only get that 6'8" frame so low. He's still eating some watts at 6'8", sitting about 5th or 6th wheel. So right now, all kind of coming back together at the front. Some of the gaps that have formed maybe starting to get sewn back together when it comes to the overall field. Easy! See Easy racing later on. Mr. Zamora, Senor Zamora. I think the other breakaway OK Flyer was Aiden Wyatt, but once again, back into the fold now. And I believe that it's still going to be Thomas Carroll, Arkansas United Racing, with number 616 that's up there. So they'll come down the downhill section. As they make their way down the hill, they take a left-hand turn, 150 meters. So once again, about 150 meters is the distance here. As they're going to see 7 to go. We'll show 7 laps to go. 7 to go, 7 to go, 7 to go. Tulsa on the scene, or Tulsa Fire that is on the scene. We're going to try to figure out when we're going to try to squeeze those two preems in. It may be that they're back-to-back laps, similar to what we had in the previous race in the Women's 2-3 and Women's Masters. A couple racers off the back trying to catch back on. It will be number 689 who rolled through there. That is Edward Sauls, Artemis Racing out of Maryland. Once again, a national race, international race that is Tulsa tough. We'll get them all across. Now looking at the Jumbotron, we'll see an attack, and it's going to be one of our OK Flyers. That may be Aiden Wyatt, who we talked about before, coming up out of the front there and making the attack up Sound Pony Hill. So heading up towards the iconic Canes Ballroom. Later on tonight, you'll see Flywheel putting on a presentation. It's called The Big Ride. It's a party up there on the lawn outside of Inner Circle Vodka Bar. Ghostland Observatory, the headliner in that free concert coming up tonight at sundown. At the top of the hill, across the street from Sound Pony Bar, in the lawn of the Inner Circle Vodka Bar. So right now, I'd also like to take a chance to say, hey, head on down, check out the Tulsa Fire Department. The cadets are just to the west of us here. They have Harrison Tuff, so one of the Tulsa firefighters battling cancer, Harrison Mosby. They're doing a raffle for them. You head down there, they get a QR code on these yellow flyers, and the QR code gets you registered for a Hasty Baked Grill, $6,000 grill, or a giant Defy Advance Pro 2 Di2 equipped race bike, $5,000 value. So once again, head on down for that. As we got 6 to go, 6 to go, 6 to go. Once again, still not going to do the preems yet. 6 to go as we try to navigate turn number 1. Six to go, 6. We got the Cyborg, Steve Isaacs was sent here on the back of that little mini Peloton, the Gruppetto, trying to catch back on. So under 6 to go, under 6 to go. So we're going to try to take care of the podium. Once again, we will need Alrighty, we are going to try to get our podiums recognized for our Women's Masters and our Women's 2-3. So we already have Lynn Wilson over there. We will need Sherry Stillman Corbett and Kim Chance to head on over. We also are going to need, for our Women's 2-3 podium, we're going to need Camilla Arenas, Ariel Wyatt, and Karen Stern head on over. We're going to try to recognize our podiums. All right, we're going to ring the bell. We're going to do a preem. $50 cash preem. Bicycles of Tulsa, one of our great sponsors. Preem. For 17 years, since 2006, Bicycles of Tulsa has been one of our main preem sponsors, providing the cash. And this is a $50 preem lap. So thank you, as always, the BOT, Bicycles of Tulsa. This time around, we're going to go back-to-back preems. Like we said, had to kind of compress it. So here's the thing. If you want your heart rate to be elevated, let's just keep it. We're going to have 5 straight laps of fun. I'd like to give a thank you to Tulsa Tough Race Organization once again, trying to handle a difficult situation in the middle of a super fast race. A super fast race and trying to control things and holding off once again on the preems and everything else to take care of that downed rider. Also, thank you to Tulsa Fire. Alrighty, so we're going to throw out, we said back-to-back preems, but it's going to be a little more nuance to that. The $50 premium is going to be for our front group, and then we're going to ring the bell for the second group out on the road. So right now, if you're at the Jumbotron, or if you're down there at the corner next to the Tulsa Theater, and you see the downhill little white knuckle here, or the downhill group, the front group, they're going to be spending $50. When we see that next group, we're going to ring the bell, and it'll be a premium for them, a $75 premium. But once again, we'll focus right now on this $50 premium that's about to finish on up. Going to be heading to the line. Who's going to sprint it on out to take the $50? Coming on the outside. That's going to be tight. OK Flyer trying to nip him at the line. We'll have to rely on John Gallagher and the crew at 1 to go. Live links results to figure out who won that preem. So that's the $50 preem. So 653 takes it. And that is going to be Maximiliano Hernandez out of Illinois taking the preem, $50. So now here comes the next group. This group. Here it is, $75 preem, $75 preem, just for this group, $75 preem. Alrighty, so we awarded that $50 premium to Maximiliano Hernandez. Right now, that second group on the road is who's going to be battling it out for the $75 premium. We just haven't made it difficult enough today, but we will try to keep it straight, handing out this cold, hard cash, courtesy of our great sponsors here at St. Francis Tulsa Tough. Talk about our riders making their way past Sound Pony Bar. Go see the band Bartender. They'll be up there tonight, Josh Gifford. Wife and kids are going to be making their way not to the bar, Lindsay. Not to the bar with the kids just yet. But Papa, one of the two owners there at South Pony, they'll be having a gig. EP release tonight for their band Bartender. All right, so we've preemed the front guys. They're already there. Now we need to keep it, pay attention to find out where our $75 preem group is. And by the way, we're also going to see 3 laps to go for our race leaders. And speaking of the race leaders, here they come, the OK Flyers with that 1980s decor. The pink and yellow and white are the OK Flyers. I want to say that was 7:15. That was. That's Aiden Wyatt here out of Tulsa, leading right here with 3 to go. Looking back, a couple compatriots back behind him. Also one of the fellow Tulsans in the Logistics 918 racer, Adalberto Figueroa, also in that top 5. So here comes our preem. So once again, the group coming up, these guys are going to be sprinting it out for $75. This is a $75 preem sprint coming up. Gentlemen, this is $75. Who wants the $75? Coming to the line, 619. That'll be Christian Chavez, Revolution Racing out of Texas. Taking that money, Chavez on the $75. So, injecting a little pace there in the middle of that. Right now we'll focus back in the front of this. Once again, OK Flyers have been up there. Haven't seen the Texas Giant in a while. Did not see him maybe towards the back. The 6'8" racer out of Texas, the 24-year-old Turner Becker. He's been up at the front for a while. Eating a lot more watts than the juniors that race with the OK Flyers. Alrighty, 2 to go. The penultimate lap, 2 to go. The Flyers have been active, but now some new names and faces up at the front. 633, Ryan Derrick. First time we've called his name. Racing with the American Dodgeball Association. That's a great team name there. Ryan Derrick, 2 to go. So right now, we're going to be cleaning up the backside of the race course. We started with 108 brave souls here in our men's Cat 4. So we're going to start pulling them here to clear it up on the final lap and a half here. So if you check out the Jumbotron, you'll see that lead group, probably down to about 30 racers or so. Texas Giant Turner Becker still in there towards the back of it. But a couple new faces at the front. Looks like BMC Walmart out of Arkansas making their way up, sitting about second wheel. Trying to see who is that racer in first. The first time we've seen him, that may be racing with En Passant Racing. That could be Ramiro Becerra, that is. And that is exactly who it is. Ramiro Becerra, bib number 609, En Passant Racing. Presented by Wilder Company. And so now we'll see Ramiro Becerra making his way downhill, but behind him you will see Walmart BMC. Could be, that's either going to be Aaron or Owen Alphen, possibly back there racing out of Arkansas. But right now, Ramiro Becerra is your leader. When he comes and makes that turn, ladies and gentlemen, get off your duffs. Get to the barriers. If you're watching at home, get off the couch, screen, they can hear you. The World Wide Web is an amazing thing. And come to the line, we're going to ring that bell for one to go, one to go, one to go, one to go. A final lap, men's Cat 4. The weather truncated edition here in 2023. One to go, one to go, one to go, one to go, one to go. One lap to go, Becerra. Give him 4 seconds. Becerra with 4 seconds on a Ryan Derrick-led peloton. A much reduced peloton as they go one to go, one to go, one to go. Britt and his team up out of the saddle. He'll make that turn 2 on the north side of the Guthrie Green. That was a spot that early on today had a couple riders going into that barrier. Momentum you try to do, especially late in the race. A lot of momentum. So you make that first left-hand turn. Then you make that second, and you kind of forget your spatial analysis here. You kind of forget where you are, and that momentum will sometimes carry you into the barriers. Right there on this final lap, they were able to navigate it. So one to go, one to go, one to go, one to go. Backside of our remaining peloton. Looking in there, that would have been number 695. That's Chris Stevens' Dad Bod Crit Squad out of Oklahoma. I believe they are out of the 405. Another great name. I think that's a Micah Newell creation from back in the day with Tony Stewart with Bike Lap, Dad Bod Crit Squad. But right now, we are focused on Ramiro Becerra, En Passant Racing. Still leading that, or still pulling from the back. That is going to be Ryan Derrick. And everyone's just letting him do it. So Ryan Derrick with American Dodgeball Association is pulling everyone up to Becerra. Becerra starting to lose a little bit of momentum here, but here comes a flyer. That may be Wyant coming up on the near side, and now he's going to take that corner. Ladies and gentlemen, look to the west. Look into the shadow of the Tulsa Theater as here comes the gallop from your men's Cat 4 field. Coming to the line, will it be a youth movement in the OK Flyers? Who will come to the line? Taking it all the way, 6:31, Isaiah Colbreth, OK Flyers. Isaiah takes the win, OK Flyers, the junior race squad. I've worked with Isaiah's dad, Tanner Colbreth. He was the godfather of cross, is what we call him here in the state of Oklahoma. Ruts and Guts, UCI level race event. We've had it for years when it was UCI. That kid, when he was a little kid, would be out there every year racing cross, beating adults. And now he's racing crit, once again, beating adults. As Isaiah Colbreth is your winner here in the men's Cat 4 on day number 2 at the FC Tulsa St. Francis Tulsa Tough.